Hello, my name is Koenig. I've been to all the BitConfs and now I'm here online. Rodolfo asked me to give an introductory talk and he came up with this title, Pillars of Bitcoin. And I thought, oops, what does he mean by that? So it came to my mind that there are basically three main pillars that this whole Bitcoin movement is based on. It's economics, finance, and culture. So let's start with economics. So quite obviously, the whole Bitcoin thing has started because the financial system that we have has many flaws. So, and the economic school that has analyzed that for a long time is the Austrian School of Economics. I gave a talk about that at some other BitConf, so I will not dive too deeply into it, but I think there's a very, very high overlap between Austrian economics and Bitcoin. So many of the early Bitcoiners, they knew all the works by Ludwig von Mises and Friedrich August von Hayek and all these Austrians with these long, complicated names. And they really analyzed the flaws of the economic system that we currently have, which is not really capitalism, and especially the flaws of the financial system, which is more like a kind of money socialism, yeah? It was even in the Communist Manifesto of Karl Marx that there should be a central bank, you know, with that rules all the money supply, and that's actually a very bad idea, and it leads to all these like distortions that we have, and also a lot of social injustice, yeah, that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and it's a very bad system. So very obviously, Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever that was, had a deep knowledge of Austrian economics because he modeled Bitcoin like gold. Yeah, Bitcoin is a kind of digital gold, has very similar qualities. And the Austrian school, of course, they didn't know about Bitcoin yet, but many are very Bitcoin friendly actually. Yeah, but they knew about gold and they knew that it's something that is scarce by nature and cannot be manipulated, cannot be just produced by governments and central banks. Is a far superior system. But of course, gold cannot be transmitted through the internet. So in that respect, Bitcoin is even better and of course also scarcer as gold. So that's a main economic insight that you have to have, that Bitcoin is very scarce, Bitcoin is a better monetary system, and it would be good for the planet, yeah, for humanity, for the global economy. So that's that one pillar, economics, which of course is interesting for people who like to, you know, read books, who like to think about, make the world a better place. But honestly, not so many people think like that. Yeah, not so many people care of that. Most people care about their own personal finance. And that's of course what touches most people. Yeah, what fascinates people by Bitcoin is the fact that it was a few cents 10 years ago. When I discovered it was about $1, and now well, you know, it's 20,000. I don't know. I'm pre-recording this talk. It might be even higher than that when you see this. Well, it's an incredible growth, and of course, it's totally logical because Bitcoin is very useful. It is very scarce. So it's just natural, just like supply and demand, basic laws of economics, that Bitcoin price rises. But of course, it's something that fascinates people. I think, wow, my God, I should have invested in 2011 and now I would be a billionaire, like some people are. Yeah? Some people who started out as like nerds and geeks, fascinated with technology. In the beginning, they would just push around thousands of Bitcoins just to play with it. Yeah? They had no value. And now suddenly they are billionaires and they're, you know, can buy Lambos and fly to the moon, whatever. So that is fascinating, of course, the personal gains that you can have from Bitcoin. Of course, that's what people fascinates the most. And especially now in this time of a looming crisis. And the crisis is not because of some virus or pandemic. I mean, that's all bullshit, yeah? But the crisis that now comes through, or that is, we are already in the middle of it, through all these ridiculous measures that are, I don't think they're really like well thought out, but they destroy the economy and they turn the whole economy much more into some kind of, I don't know, socialist state and system. Very bad. Many people lose their existence and many companies have to go bankrupt. I mean, we will have a big, big, big economic crisis. There's no doubt about it. And in such a situation where probably, very likely, the euro and the dollar will look like the Venezuelan bolivar or the Argentine peso. I mean, you don't want to have that kind of shit money anymore. You want real money, you want good money, scarce money, like the Venezuelans now prepare to have dollars. I'm very sure that in the very near future, everybody on the earth will not like to have dollars or euros or these are the government shitcoins, but real sound money like Bitcoin. That, of course, will be the main driver of Bitcoin mass adoption. Yeah, so I'm not happy about the crisis. No, don't get me wrong. I think it will be terrible. But of course, if you have Bitcoin, you will be on the safe side. So I hope that as many people as possible will get into Bitcoin before the crisis really like makes people suffer. And, you know, I think it will feel like being in Weimar, Germany in 1923, having dollars instead of this funny Reichsmark, yeah, with billions of Reichsmark to pay a pound of butter. So if we have Bitcoin, we will be hopefully on the safe side. Yeah, I think it will still be a tough world with probably lots of, I don't know, crime and looting. Whoa, I don't want to think about it, but well, better be prepared, yeah, than be surprised. So economics and finance, like macroeconomics, the system, but then also finance, like personal finance, my personal financial freedom. These are very important pillars of Bitcoin. But there's a third one, and I call it culture. And that's very special to Bitcoin, I would say, because, I mean, it's a technology, yeah, it's a currency, but my God, it's so much more than that. I mean, people wear T-shirts like this ones, yeah? People go to Bitcoin meetups. People call themselves Bitcoiners. And then there are all the things like Satoshi Nakamoto, Hodl, Honey Badger, to the moon, Lambo, wearing shoes of 2 different colors. I mean, that is culture. And it's a strong and growing culture. And like 10 years ago, all these funny words, funny memes, they would say, what? Honey Badger? Hodl? What are you talking about? Now, as a Bitcoiner, you know what we are talking about. It kind of connects us, and there is a spirit of like, we are a big tribe all around the globe. We might come from different cultures, from Argentina and US and Japan and Germany, wherever, but there's this thing, hey, wow, and it's not just, okay, we make money, we have a business. No, it's a fascinating culture, and we want to be part of that. I mean, I go to La Bitcoin every year, because it's this amazing like family feeling, tribe feeling that we really do something good for the planet. Yeah, as maybe silly as it sounds, and at the same time we can also become billionaires. Yeah, but we do something good. I mean, we and that's I think that's the most attractive thing about Bitcoin. That's why people go to Bitcoin meetups and do all this marketing. I mean, Bitcoin has no company, no marketing department, and still it's so strong. It's such a strong visual and verbal culture, and I think that's unique about Bitcoin. I mean, I remember in the early days of the internet, there were internet meetups. You would go to internet meetups, and you would also call yourself the internet community, the net community. But that was over very quickly, because when everybody uses it, I mean, it's kind of silly. I don't know, maybe in the early days of the telephone, there were telephone user meetups, could be, yeah? Now you just use that thing. And maybe it could be that this thing of Bitcoin culture that we live now with like our T-shirts and being Bitcoiners, that this will be over because everybody will use Bitcoin. And that's a good thing. I hope that we will be there soon, that everybody will use Bitcoin. And especially also, I mean, I think what I find very, very interesting in this whole development is the second layer. You know, Bitcoin is great, but of course it also has its like shortcomings. I mean, like, you know, we know it all. Yeah, it's kind of slow, kind of expensive, but now there are all these great solutions, the Lightning Network and Lumio and RGB, and you name that. Let's see which one will really make the race. Hopefully several, I don't know. Smart contracts on the Bitcoin blockchain that make so many things possible that so we don't need Ethereum or these other solutions so much. I mean, Ethereum was definitely a great inspiration for RSK and the second layer of Bitcoin, but of course, this makes much more sense to use the network effects of Bitcoin. Yeah, everybody is already in Bitcoin. There's so much money in Bitcoin. Now we have to do also that second layer and DeFi and smart contracts on Bitcoin. That for me makes total sense. Is that another pillar? I don't know. It's like everything. Yeah, it's like economics, finance, culture. It's a super important step that we move forward. That we don't just hold Bitcoin and see and look at the price. That's of course not enough. We really have to change everything with it, the financial system. And DeFi is I think one of the most important trends now. We have this smart Bitcoin investor newsletter, by the way. If you want to know about DeFi and Bitcoin, we launched it today under the Smarter Bitcoin Alliance. You have a newsletter, and it talks only about DeFi Bitcoin projects, just to make a little advertising here. Okay, yeah, I think that was my talk. The pillars of Bitcoin. I find it super fascinating, and honestly, I never met so many smart and idealistic and nice people as in the Bitcoin world. Some people say, oh, there are all these toxic so-and-so trolls. I never meet them. I don't know. I only go to the nice conferences. I go to La Bitcoin and Unchained and the good ones, and I meet so many amazing people. And I would love to see you guys all in person and have a drink with you and party and celebrate. Okay, we can celebrate on the moon next Saturday. We even have an exhibition there about crypto pioneers. I hope you will see that 20minutes.com exhibition on the moon. Ooh, but I would prefer to go to the real moon with you guys and have some moon cocktail there and walk in two-colored shoes. So yeah, I guess it's about people also. Yeah, I mean that's what culture is. It's about human beings, about connecting, about feeling part of the same tribe, and that's what is Bitcoin for me, and I hope for you too. So thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy La BitConf. To the moon!